Oh, the breakfast, 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 the breakfast. Come on, I'm going to daddy the Sunday. The breakfast, I'm going to daddy the Sunday. The breakfast, I'm going to daddy the Sunday. My second daddy the Sunday. Was awesome, glory to God. And we said, God, thank you for the grits and the eggs and cheese. I both come back to the Sunday. Now you go Sunday. Now you go Sunday. He got me on the spot right here. I'm up in the spirit of the Lord. And I can't come down because we get.
Stop it!
Well, what's up, my beautiful girls? How are you? I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. So, I know that on Sundays I'm not used to going live. Typically, earlier on in season 7 as well as season 6, I went live on Sundays to render Sunday inspiration. You guys know. But as season 7 started to develop, I started giving inspiration every single day. So I decided to take my Sundays to kind of rest, relax, release, masturbate, and praise God. Maybe I should go live on Sundays more often. Hi, 1,500 people. 17. Hi. How are you? Okay, so this is an, I guess you can say, off-season live video. I'm in my office trying to memorize these lines. And I'm really excited about the opportunities on the table. But I definitely wanted to come render you some Sunday inspiration today. It's my day to relax, relate, and release. That's the word. Release. On Sundays, I like to relax, relate, and release. And it's typically the day I do my hair. I try to refresh myself for the upcoming week because as an entertainer, whether that's on the internet or whatever, you always have to look the part. So I just kind of let my aesthetic go on Sundays and the weekends sometimes. But because I won't be seeing my babies for another 6 weeks, I decided to pop in today to say how you doing.
How you doing?
I just want to give a couple of announcements really quickly. I am on fall break, okay? Unfortunately, that means that the live times that I will be broadcasting myself might change a little bit. But just because I'm on break doesn't mean I won't be live. So I still will be coming here to service you in the same ways that we always have, okay? Don't fret. Tomorrow, I will not be live. I actually have a Zoom call meeting with an executive producer on Tuesday. And I don't know if you know this, but first impressions are everything. So I have to make sure that a bitch is on point because mother ain't going to slip on that. And my album is due to the radio station here in Charlotte on Tuesday, too. So I want to go to the studio after I get my hair done to make sure that everything sounds accordingly, okay? And I know that sometimes you guys, you know, you watch me and you say, oh my God, he's just at his desk pulling cards, but there is a lot of moving pieces when it comes to the brand of Boots Tarot. We are expanding from being just in the client space to being a lifestyle brand, okay? That was what was laid upon my heart, whether it's how I'm decorating my home, what I'm eating, or the spirituality that I embody. I am attempting to bottle myself up and trap it to you in the same ways that I trap my psychic services to you, and I hope you guys consume upon that. But that takes time, that takes energy, it takes stamina, it takes diligence, and I just wanted to first educate you on slight changes that will happen until the beginning of the year. Okay, so the Monday through Friday schedule, I will attempt to go live at least once a day, but keep your notifications on so that you know exactly when I do go live. Okay, if you don't mind, that's cool. Okay. And the next time you're able to pre-book your appointments, you can pre-book right now, but the next time that I'll be seeing people one-on-one will be in November after these conglomerates are in structure and they are thriving. You know what I'm saying? I want to advise you guys of this too. Squad, my private group that I talk about live all the time, is going to shut down on December the 31st. No people in. People can't get out if they get disrespectful though. But we're locking it down. I've built this private group for 7 years. And now with where we're going, there will be another fan page that you are more than willing to participate in. But Squad, we're locking it down. If you're in, you're in. And nobody else is going to be allowed in that group. Okay. This is my way of keeping the digital people that were shooting with me in the garage or the gym close to me, and not misconstruing them with newcomers who might consume upon my brand in a slightly different way. So if you are gang, go ahead in the comment section and drop your symbols below. Speaking of gang, Coven applications will also drop on Halloween. For right now, if you want to digitally participate in a community of casters and things of this nature, we do some really, really good craft out here. Make sure that you are in Squad because those applications drop on October 31st, and it's not just fill this out and I get in. We really look at to see what you are doing, what you're about, all the way down to your zodiac with your exact birth time. My girls do not play about the coven, but our magic works. It works. It works now. Okay. It works now, and I'm just honored that that people, I don't know, people attune themselves to my guidance in that way. If you Google my name, you'll actually see an article written by somebody who I had to motherfucking banish and cuss the fuck out. Okay. Finish her. I don't know if you guys do this, but I Google my name sometimes, and this girl basically wrote up an article about how I have my coven doing blood magic. I have them put blood on my picture to attune themselves to my spirit. First and foremost, if you're doing any type of craft, blood is involved because blood is the element of spirit. So to paint me in that picture is so stupid. Knowing that we actually can make all your hair fall out. So if you scroll back, I actually broadcasted it. I showed them doing the rituals and things of that nature. And that is not to bind them or anything like that, like the article would suggest. The first time I saw that article, it's by Lipstick Alley or something like that. So if you see the article on Google, make sure you leave a negative review. My girls know what the real is. And if it doesn't resonate with you, move right along. But you're not going to talk shit without repercussions. Look at me known. I'm a very defensive creature. So yeah, that's going down. The tip jar will remain open for you. Okay, but the time frame in which correspondence might occur with you might be up to 72 hours to give myself some breathing room in between learning these lines and chasing the dream. So again, I just want to come and say thank you for understanding. You know what I'm saying? My career is of service, but my dreams is to inspire the world. And slowly but surely through social media, we are definitely doing that. So I just want to say thank you so much for all of the love and support. And we're in a state of transition, but hopefully you guys grow with me. And that is my wish. Sunday inspiration, let's talk. Prior to that, the tarot class has now moved to the 19th of November. So if you're interested in learning tarot and divination and things of that nature, you can check that out on my website. It's a drop-down menu. As soon as you go to my website, click that, and it'll give you all the details about the tarot class. It is a $250 class. I have 4 students right now. The most expensive class I've taught, because I'm giving you the tricks of the trade, is no tricks. It's all knowledge, and I'm going to give you the knowledge that I use to execute my skill. And I'm also going to give you some business tips, too. So if you are a spiritualist and you're attempting to live in your passion, live in your purpose, and as well as retain lucidity, please take that class. It is a good class to join, okay? and it's not being taught until the 19th now. The word that was placed upon my heart came very strong yesterday, and I dropped it in squat, and I want to reflect it to the general public right now. You don't know what your spirits, your ancestors, God, or the deities that you attune your energy to are protecting you from. You know, here recently, I'm a very sensitive creature. I know. I know I don't let it show on social media very much. I have a very extroverted and obtuse personality as well as an obtuse ass, you know. I'm a very sensitive person. I can be very defensive, but at the core of me, I'm actually introverted. I'm very shy. I stutter sometimes, and I've, taken voice classes to get through that nervousness and things of that nature. But I like to consider myself an extroverted introvert. What would you consider yourself? Let me know in the comment section. So, at the core of me, I'm an introvert, very sensitive. I take things to heart all the time. I always, mask that with the extroverted entity that governs my spirit, that being Boots. You know what I'm saying? And I'm able to put on... I'm able to exaggerate certain aspects of my personality for the sake of society and the sake of performing, okay, and inspiring others. But at the core of me, I'm very sensitive. And basically, throughout this journey of my career, I've gotten into it with a couple of celebrities. And certain celebrities have said things. Certain celebrities have done things to me. I was ruthless at a concert one time with a celebrity. And here recently, somebody that I admire basically shot me and the whole psychic community down. Just shot us down. That was rebuttal with a post that I posted up where you guys were singing my praises, and she still continued to shoot it down. And in between learning lines and, re-choreographing my schedule, I felt bad about that. I felt real bad. I followed this person's journey for quite some time, and I was extremely inspired by her come up. And, for me to render my services to you and for you to respond in that way, it definitely hurt my feelings a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. But it wasn't to the point I want to go tit for tat with you. It was just to the point of, I looked at it as a challenge, and then I looked at it like, well, damn, like, am I doing something wrong? Like, it was a humbling moment because I felt like, I'm on the come up. Everybody should know who I am right now. And I guess, everybody doesn't. And I guess everybody is not attuned to what I'm putting down. And that's cool. And so in my meditation, I went to God and I was like, yo, what's happening? And I got flashes of certain individuals in my mind. And I told Squad exactly who those individuals were. And they've been with me through the, unfolding of drama they're in. And it hit me like a bat out of nowhere. You don't know what you're being protected from when these connections disintegrate. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. I called my mother and we started talking about that one time I went to jail. Okay, so I'll tell you a story. And this is why I'm banned for Walmart for life. But I had some sticky fingers growing up. I got charged with arson as well as theft or whatever. And I was stealing from Walmart right before Step Team Trip, and the new Ashanti CD came out. And Ashanti was a hot thing back then, So I go up in Walmart, I grabbed a little CD, put it in my little bag or whatever, and then how like the loss prevention comes to the door or whatever. So I Beauregard passed the door or whatever. He tried to lock me down, and then the bushes catch on fire because I can start fires with my mind when I get angry. The bushes lit up and I go to jail. My mother made me sit in jail for 2 fucking days. And the day after that, I stole the CD so we had something to listen to on the way down to Florida, where we were having a step team conference, right? And I was the step master at the time of Primetime Steppers. Prime time, you know. Well, my stepmaster ass was sitting up in jail. Tell me why they got stranded on the highway. They had to stay at a Days Inn for 3 days. Didn't even compete in the step team contest. The step team prize was supposed to be $2,500 for your organization. They didn't pay no money. So basically, that was God's way of protecting me from being stranded in a situation I didn't need to be in. Okay? One time I got sent to alternative school after beating somebody's motherfucking ass. Okay? I got sent to alternative school. I was pissed off as hell. I felt bad about it. I was angry. I didn't want to go to alternative school because I just got done beating somebody's ass in public school. Now I got to beat everybody's ass in alternative school. Like, goddamn. Like, you know? Come to find out, the day that I went to that alternative school, the boy ass I beat brought his brothers and sisters to the school to jump me that day. You don't know what God is protecting you. There was a reality show. Last year, I went in December to LA to audition for a reality show. I was the third person that they said they didn't want to select, but they offered me a talk show. We declined on the talk show because the money wasn't right. Bitch, I know my worth, right? Come to find out, the show didn't even get into production. See, with my desire to help individuals right now and the life that I'm living in right now, I'm gravitated to people who could utilize my services, right? However, in the midst of me connecting with people, I'm also taking on your demons. I'm consorting with your ancestors, and I'm getting advised by your angels. And if your demons or the demons of others that have been placed upon you are screaming louder than my energetic field wants to assist you, then I'm being protected from what it is that you're bringing. When the individual who shot me down, that wasn't to say, like, Boots, you're not good enough to be reading this person. That is saying, that's God saying, I'm protecting you, because some people just don't need your gift, or some people are going through their own journeys with their own energy, and I'm protecting you from that. So let's just say, oh my God, you know, your mother grounds you and you can't go to that house party. Same thing happened to me when I was 17 years old. You can't go to that house party. 2 people lost their lives at that house party that you couldn't go to. And that's a true story. So now, being that I'm a business owner and that I own my own business and that I tune my energy to individuals on a daily basis and help them through their situations through the gift that is my clairvoyancy, as well as my spellcasting abilities and my spirituality therein, it's not that everybody doesn't deserve it. It's just when you come to me with stuff, my team and my spirituality have to be able to accept you and embrace you in. And if you got something on you or you're carrying energy that might disrupt my peace, then I am protected from it. I looked at it in a different way. Does that mean that I have ill feelings for people who have something to say about the spiritual community or denounce my services therein? No. I'm not Christian. I'm not going to knock on your door and say Jesus is all God. You don't have to believe in me, but you will respect me, though. And it's not because I'm not one of them. It's because I earned it. Okay? The lesson therein, though, is you don't know what you're being protected from. So don't take everything so personally, boo. See, some people have a fear of loss. Raise your hand if you have a fear of loss, and you feel like if you don't go here and do this social event, you're gonna miss out on something. You know what I'm saying? Or if you can't acquire this, then you're gonna miss out on something. Sometimes God is protecting you from yourself. Sometimes you could have got sick right before that trip you wasn't supposed to go on because the plane either's gonna go down, or the hotel might do some old janky shit, or there could be some situation that go on. You don't know. but the realm of possibility is very vast. So I say that not to agitate a situation. I say that to my audience because I take things very personally behind the scenes, you know? And us and the guys of social media, we're on a macro, not microscopic level of emotions. And I know that a lot of people are looking to me for guidance. So a part of me also looked in the mirror and was like, you can't let them see you sweat. You gotta clap back. You gotta do X, Y, and Z. And in all of that humanity, I'm missing the lesson. But thank God that you screamed to me in the midst of me pursuing a dream. And he said, you're not missing out on shit. You're being protected from shit you don't need to be invested in. You're not missing out on this kinship with this person. You got rooted at that concert so that no hurt, harm, or danger would have come to you with the spirits being elicited at that concert. Thank you. You couldn't read her because she fighting demons that you don't want no parts of. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. They can't sit with you because it's not time for them to sit with you. It's time for me to work with you. Don't feel guilty. Thank you, God. You didn't get on this reality show because you're going to produce your own and harbor all the assets, and you're going to own the rights to your own image and the things that come out of your mouth. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. We're going to set it up to where we leave you at the stoop of an adoption agency, because where you're going, you're going to need the right mother to guide you.
Aww.
See, I'm adopted. I was adopted at the age of 8. And prior to that, I lived in an orphanage for 8 years of my life. And, you know, I've always envied those individuals that know the womb they came out of, knew the sperm that produced them. I'll never know what that feels like. I'm a very analytical creature too, so I look up, you know, what happens to adopted kids in their 30s. Well, around our 30s, we start to be inquisitive about how it feels to know biologically where you come from, or you start questioning your bloodline and stuff like that. And it's not to denounce my mother. And my mother even said that. She was like, you always announce that you're adopted. Why do you always announce that you're adopted? And I think this is my way of, you know, getting comfortable with it. But after this conversation with God yesterday, I get it. Whoever my biological mother wasn't capable of grooming the God that you see before you. So you didn't miss out on a mother. You got the right one. And I know that you'll be here at like 2 to 3 o'clock p.m. and you're bringing your favorite restaurant, Captain Steve's, that I'm so tired of eating. And I honestly feel like this is inspiring me to have children. I've talked about this before. I do want at least 2 children, 1 male, 1 female, to carry on my legacy biologically. And even they will know a feeling that I will be completely unfamiliar with in this lifetime. But it's okay, because the stars aligned. Because without Gwen Roberts, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Bella said Gwen is the only one who had the strength to raise you. You damn right. You damn right. Because You guys are seeing me in my adulthood and in my polish. Bitch, when I was unpolished, I was unhinged. Okay, and that's a problem.
Because now it's a problem.
So, I guess ultimately what I'm trying to reflect with you guys is that there's no love lost, there's no harm done. Sometimes rejection equals protection. And I actually got that from somebody in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Rejection can sometimes equal protection. Sometimes you can't do certain things because God has something else for you. So in the midst of you feeling rejected, or in the midst of you feeling down about what you weren't able to produce or the doors God didn't open for you, rejoice. Because not only is something else waiting for you just around the river bend, darling, you've been protected from something that could have had you in bondage for longer than you needed to be. Rejoice. Also, based upon this situation, you know, we have this tendency as people to lump a person together just based upon a title, their category, their race, or their sexuality. We have this lumping ability as human beings. So, for instance, the death drop, the dip, whatever you call it, you know the dance move that I did on the Court TV show. Well, that I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, okay? And when that, when voguing started to gain traction because of YouTube from the girls up north, you know, I adopted it because I felt it was a gay cultural thing or whatever. And a lot of people, it was their first time seeing me do the dip and or the death drop. Well, as voguing gained popularity, everybody is like, they're doing your move boots. They're doing your move boots. That's not my move. But because you see somebody do that, you automatically lump them in the category of gay, attuning to me. So when you've been burned by a black gay person or a trans black person, I'm not trans, I'm just bringing an example, you immediately lump every trans person in that category. For so long, especially when I was more social than I am now, people come up to me and say, "Do you do hair?" No. But in their mind, a black gay person who's successful has to be a cosmetologist. Okay. I know that me saying this right now to 2,000 people might not change the world. But we got to take people for who they are, y'all. Okay? Not their category. Yes, I'm a psychic. You don't have to believe in psychic ability, but that don't mean I'm one of them. You're a cosmetologist. You're a gay boy. But that don't mean you one of them. Black people. Y'all do this with white people. All white people are not created equal. That is echoed with the notion that, you know, white people, all black people don't look alike. But these stereotypes that we've created as people probably helped us survive during the social Darwinism ages, but it's no point in it anymore. Okay? Not saying that we are all dealt the same set of cards, but we all are in the game called life. So why don't we just start taking people for who they are? Lack of experience and fear of the unknown. If you grew up around a whole bunch of black people and you all of a sudden go to a mixed university, like a lot of people at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro did, you know, you gotta break the programming. And for so long, I envied North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University because of their predominant blackness, right? It wasn't until after I graduated with a master's degree in communications that I realized that diversity that UNCG gave me allowed me the ability to see people not for who they are or who they appear to be, but the tangibility of their spirit. See, I could read them before anyway. So at UNCG, I became the person of the people. You'll see me stand on stages of the Mexican Damn Fiesta event, and you'll also see me hosting a bar mitzvah for some Jewish people back in the day. But I was trying to get all the coins because I had tuition to pay, bitch. And luckily, Sally Mae is off my ass. She's going to be off your ass, too. Okay, I've been asked this question a lot in my sessions. I do believe Joe Biden is going to do some loan forgiveness next year. You heard it from me first. Okay, finish her. But we got to stop lumping together people based upon the experiences that you've had with one person in a particular category. And in doing that, I feel like we can grow as a species. I feel like we can evolve. And I also feel like rejection that I have experienced here recently, as well as in the past, and, you know, the remembrance of that, it will be, how can I say, not even more respectful, just based in merit and not assumption. It is currently 11:11. Let's go ahead and go to source in prayer. God of the universe, God of love, God of light, deity of all deities, the creator of all that is divine and undivine, I say thank you for a beautiful day. Thank you for allowing me to go live and minister to 2,000 people in the gayest, witchiest way imaginable. Thank you for giving me the strength and tenacity to keep going. I want to praise you for the opportunities that have been reflected in my own life, and I ask that those same opportunities and doors of prosperity are open for everybody within the sound of my voice as of right now. I ask that you make a mighty shift in those that might be suffering from illness and or bereavement or grief. I ask that you lighten the hearts of those that might be burdened by demons placed upon them. I pray for individuals that can't see the light within myself to alleviate some of that pressure. And I ask that you shine your light on them, as I cannot be the bearer of the light to heal their situations. God, I say thank you. Thank you for the trials and tribulations I go through on an individual basis, and allowing me to reflect that with my audience in a way that is inspiring unto them. I break every chain that has been attached to these individuals in a vile and sinister way, and allow them the ability to convert that energy into something that is fruitful in your light. I ask that you behoove those individuals who might be ignorant and or judged and have the spirit of judgment amongst them, and I ask that you lighten their hearts so they can actually give somebody a hug that they don't know and that might be a little bit different from them. I ask that you unify the consciousness of all of my audience so that we are lights upon the earth full of darkness and ravished by those that don't see you. Give them sight, God. Allow something for me to sing to change the world. Allow something that I produce to leave not only a legacy for those that receive my existence, but uplift those people who are existing with me, God. I say thank you. From the day I was born, you had your hand on me, and now I attempt to reach my spiritual hands and touch anybody within the sound of my voice, and I thank you for the amplification, God. Thank you for the modifications too, God, because I know that sometimes I get in my own way, and if anybody can empathize with that, allow them to get out of their way too, and assist me in allowing that to be easier for them as well. Thank you for the spirit of understanding, to where when we break the pattern of routine, it is brightening the situation that might not be as bright for someone. I thank you to the ancestors whose tongue I bless and whose words I speak. I thank you to the spirits of those that have departed, and I honor them with my words today. Thank you for blessing us with multiple paths to you, God. Thank you for every religion that opens the door to divinity. Thank you to spirituality that is the engine behind every religion. And for my people, I ask that you place them upon the path that will bring them the most abundant experience as we are plugged into this life we call Earth. For it is ghetto. But God, through you, even in the sewer, we're rich. Amen. Ashe. So mote it be. morning. At least I did. All right, so the rest of my day, I'm going to try not to look at this script. I have been, religiously reading it. I'm diving headfirst into acting. The last time I acted, I was the fairy godmother on Cinderella. This was a play in high school. If I find the picture, I'll put it in my Instagram story so you guys can see. Again, just to quickly reiterate everything that's going on, I'm currently on fall break that will probably extend to being in January of 2023. However, I do have pre-booked appointments, and make sure that you are subscribed to my newsletter, okay? Because that's where all of the updates will be given unto you. You can book an appointment for the week of November the 20th, and that is the only time that I foresee in the foreseeable future that I will be available to my clientele until the beginning of the year. My store does open on November 11th, 2023. Just like Chris Brown's dropping an album on that day, I'm dropping my store on that day, but my album will be out on October the 31st. I hope you guys like all of the content and things that I produce there, and I've worked very hard, you guys, very, very hard. And I want to give a special shout out to Erica Badu. Ever since we've met, I feel like a part of my life has been completed. I want to thank you for embracing me in the aspects of working with you. I really appreciate it. It's just a dream come true to me. So I just thank you. To my 88 celebrity clients, no refunds. I'm just kidding. You guys know you have a different set of rules. To the general public, thank you for being my consumers. To my squad, thank you for holding me close to my coven. Thank you for casting with me. And this is not a denial. I don't know why it's feeling so like end of the journey. It's not the end of the journey. It's just things are going to start to change. And remember, I made mention of this season 3, that things are going to go up and you guys are going to rise with me. And from the bottom of my heart, I just got to say thank you. And I love you. So again, tomorrow I won't be live. I might be live candidly while I'm getting my hair done. Would you guys like that? You know, I might, pop in and say hey. And then I'm not going to miss a show, okay, for the rest of the week. And then if any updates do happen in the midst of that, then it is what it is. While I still got you, do you guys want to do a Q&A real quick? You can ask me anything that's not psychic related. I am not reading at this time. I am wearing an actor's hat. So if you have any Q&A questions that you would like to ask me, allow yourself to get to know the person that peeks off into your spirit so well, just a little bit more. I would be happy to elaborate on some questions that you ask me in terms of who I am as an individual behind the entertainment, behind the gift. You have the floor to do that. But prior to that, I want to play one of my records. This is Grand Gesture. Haven't played this song in a while. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll be right back. Get your questions together and give me one adjective to describe how your Sunday is going.
That's what I'm gonna need after everything you promised me. Grand gesture, that's what I'm gonna need after everything you put me through. It's gotta be grand.
10 bands, 100 bands, it don't matter, man. The old me made promises I ain't understand. Touch the void and come back even better, damn. Think of me as Aladdin, the gin inside the lamp. Make a count in realms you can't get to. New folk attach themselves too soon. Old folk, I question question their motive. Like, where were you when I was in rehab? Detoxing, I'm getting clean. The closest to me, nowhere to be seen. My baby was there, my mom and my team. My fans and A-listers, they all found me king. Come on, I'm a party. Please, do not get me started. I'm do my fucking shit. I won't go fucking retarded. I am tired of this shit. They acting like they don't have knowledge. But I dress like a girl when I graduated college.
That's what I'm gonna need. After me through. It's gotta be Queen.
You guys are writing paragraphs, and I'm reading some of them. So that's lit. What inspires you to write your music, and how long does it take you to write a song? I can write a song in 2 seconds. What inspires me? My life experience. That's typically what is reflected in my music. Life experiences. The Longing for Love is typically a title, or sometimes I go really thematic with what it is I'm producing. Like this next project is, the theme is the 7 Deadly Sins. So it's just a matter of, you know, plugging into the creative vein and getting what you get. I mean, if you give me a topic, like for instance, bottle, water bottle, bitch, water bottle, bag, bitch, water bottle, bag, bitch. You need some water. Your car needs a starter. I don't drive a Charger, but if I did, bitch, I'ma have to charge. You see, it just comes. I don't know. Okay, it's a vein you plug into, and you just have the tools. You have to have the tools and the knowledge to like break it down. So you have to, I'm classically trained in 7 different instruments. So if I get inspired, I can convert that inspiration to audible sound using tools such as the piano, or such as, you know, a desk where I beatbox, or, you know, anything like that. So that's my musical process. But typically it always starts at my great grandmother's piano downstairs. I always start there, and then I go to the studio, and JoJo is so gifted. Like, that's my producer. Shout out to JoJo, the producer. He's so gifted. I can, and we do this too. Like, I've been working with the same producer for 10 years, but I can record myself like humming something. I'll go into the studio, and he'll already have a beat created around the melody that comes into my head. So that's kind of how music works with me. If you're interested in my music, check out my website, click music. I have 22 music videos, 5 albums. This is my 6th album. 5 or 6 albums, self-produced, and hopefully I can do some good things with that. I missed the beginning of the live, but are you considering having biological kids now, adopting, or both? I'm going to have one. I feel like she's a girl. The first one is going to be a girl. And she's going to come from my sperm and my egg. And then the little boy, I feel like, is going to be adopted from another country. And then, who knows, by then, maybe they could, like, gene splice and make a biological kid related to both fathers. I don't know. Speaking of, it's a new nigga in town. It's a new nigga in town, and he survived fuckboy training.
Finish her.
Could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.
You know, based upon me being a retired trick.
Dick do be tasting better after it come out my
I'm putting these niggas through a trial of fire, bitch, and this one has passed over these past 2 weeks, so I'm interested in spending some one-on-one time with that individual. Yes. And y'all, please forgive my eyebrows. They're peeling right now, but they're coming into form. I saw somebody say something. Did you or do you plan on having the ability to cure and help with any illnesses, conditions, disabilities? I'm legally blind, girl. You had a session with, oh my God, I missed you. How are you? I am a healer, okay? As an oracle, you can basically consider me a jack of all trades. It just really depends on the gift that I'm focused on at the time. I have not rendered my skill to do in-person healing sessions or anything of this nature, but I have casted on behalf of a couple of clients. One of them got a new kidney. The other one is still going through her cancer battle, but we're getting through it. So I'm not as confident as I am about healing as I am about divinating what is going to manifest with you. So I'm not going to claim healing abilities, but I do have the ability to heal. I do. So oracleism is basically like, how can I put it? It's like we adapt to okay, hold on. It's like Rogue from the X-Men. It's like Rogue. I can call upon specific gifts of spirit as my physical conditions might need them. So again, with me being charged with 5 counts of arson in my life, to protect myself, fires would start around me, right? Or that one time when I got in that fight in college and I threw that boy halfway across the room and he was like 2 times as big as me. I mean, it just happens. And in those moments, I black out. I don't remember until like the next day. It's like that. Except with Rogue, she has to touch you. I just have to be present, you know. Maybe one day I'll demonstrate some shit to you. We'll see. But bitch, I'm scared of persecution because if you don't think that the government got witches underneath what they call it, Area 51, seeing how they doing half the shit that they can do, you fucked up. Because there's a technology behind witchcraft. They're trying to simulate what metaphysical humans can do through technology. But that's a whole nother topic of conversation. Next question, Tamika.
Next question, Tamika. Stop trying to motherfucking play me for you don't get what you need. Next question, Tamika.
What tattoos you getting next? I have no idea. Okay, my tattoo journey, it started with the one behind my ear with my mother's name, and then it just kind of expanded over my body. I like symmetry though. Okay, so you'll notice that if I get one thing on one side, I got to get it on the other side, or it has to have an element of balance. I kind of like how my pieces are set up right now. Just this is done. I think I want to go on the back of my neck and continue the beehive around there. Or whatever, I don't know, but I get inspired to get tattoos, and when I do, I just, you know, I call my dude Tommy, and he comes through, you know. Necromancer Jimmy with the big dick, he says, what drives and motivates you? It used to be attention, but now it's people. It's people. Y'all. And there's one more. I am consistently on a journey of making my mother proud. Consistently. Okay. And sometimes I overly judge myself because she doesn't react in a way that makes me feel like she is proud sometimes. Because a lot of what I'm doing right now, she don't understand. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, my mother adopted me when she was 43. So a lot of what I do for work and how I do it is like beyond her. So I'm just trying to just really want to make her proud and help her live her best life. You know, like that's always motivated me. That's always motivated me. I mean, when I was acting a fool in college and I hate seeing her disappointed. Like, it used to piss me off, though. I used to not be sad about it. It used to piss me off, and I used to take that out on her. So it was like a real bad cycle that we had to go to therapy to kind of get over. But making her proud was the root of that. And more particularly so because I was adopted, I feel like it's always this rooted thing in you when you've been sent back to the orphanage 4 or 5 times that you just inherently feel like if I fail or if I fuck up, I'm going to get sent back again. So that drives me too. Making my mother proud, you guys, and I'm an attention whore. But I'm an attention whore with a purpose. I gotta change the world. You see what I'm saying? So these are some good questions. These are so much better questions than when I'm in the hot tub. Like, lit. Frozen. Well, I guess I demonstrated something. That makes sense. Yeah. Looking for another question. Hi. This is a food question. Will you share your recipes in a book one day? You can purchase some of my minute recipes on my website. Told you this shit is going to be a lifestyle type of shit, right? But I do have ambitions on opening a restaurant next year that coincides with my physical store. So I'm starting everything digitally, and then hopefully I'll have a place for us to kind of fellowship and shop and, you know, cook and eat in Charlotte, North Carolina next year. I'm going to keep it here in Charlotte, you know. So will I ever do like a cookbook? Yeah, I can see myself doing that. Yeah. King KJ says, do you ever want to get any piercings? I always loved the bar and the cartilage, right? Like, I love that. I only have 2 piercings. I have my ears pierced. The nose rings I wear are not real, okay? Piercings, I'm not too big of a, like, oh my God, I gotta get something pierced today. Like, I'm not with that. I kind of like the consistent pain of tattoos rather than the one shot, oh my God, that hurts like hell type of pain from piercings. But if I was to get a tattoo, I do want to put a diamond gem right here in the middle of my love Pokeball on my neck. But I'm not that big of a piercing fan, to be honest with you. I thought about getting my dick pierced because I heard it makes the sex better, but
How you do?
what is your biggest fear? Failure. And not being good enough. Failure and not being good enough. Failure and not being good enough. I'm trying to think if it's like something I'm physically scared. I used to have a huge fear of mold. It's not a fear. I don't react like, mold. I just like get the, you know when your skin crawls and shit, and you get like the heebie-jeebies and shit? Like, I just didn't understand it. Like, you just grow out of nowhere. Like, that shit's demonic. Like, I did not like mold. I don't have like a fear of clowns or anything. Like, I don't know. Like, physical things. I have a fear of pain being inflicted by somebody other than myself. Yeah. I do have a fear of like physical pain, and that's why I started getting tattoos and shit. I do not like pain, but then I'm growing to learn that I do like pain. It's just I don't like pain that I don't call for. Like, does that make sense? Like, I don't like if I'm in the jungle and I'm looking at a damn lion and the lion looks like he's approaching me, I will be afraid. Okay, but if I'm in the jungle and the lion's just sitting over there minding his business, I'm good. You see what I'm saying? Are you dressing up for Halloween? Let me tell you a funny story. My cousin Gabrielle had to explain to my little cousin TJ why I dress the way that I dress. And she said this. She said, you know how we dress up for Halloween? Well, he thinks Halloween is every day. And TJ, light bulb went off. TJ's 18 right now. He loves his cousin Uncle Boot. So, what's up, TJ? But when she explained that, it kind of made sense as to why I don't feel the need to dress up for Halloween. I've always... it's either one or two different things happen on Halloween. I never go as a character. I always create something. Like Ivy Iverson, the character Ivy Iverson in my tarot deck, it was created based on a Halloween costume when I just took rose petals off of a plant in my house and glued them to my eyes. And then, I don't know, so do I have a costume this year? No. I halfway feel like just being regular. Because... as a performer, I dress up every day. But it's a part of my gender, as well. I don't know. But no, I don't have a costume for Halloween this year. What advice would you give someone wanting to get started in acting? Bitch, I don't know. Okay, I this is my first. I don't.
Because she has nothing else going on.
I don't know. But it's the same advice I would give to anybody doing anything. You keep doing it, and the levees are gonna break one day. Okay? But I will say this: I used to work in casting in LA. Shout out to Jackie Pittman, who was my boss, and now she's my client, which is ironic. But shout out to Jackie Pittman from Pittman Castings in LA. Was anybody following me around that time when I was casting for like game shows and shit like that? One of the things that I will tell people is you have to be where they are. So you need to be in New York or LA if you're trying to get into acting. And the second thing is you need to take classes. Okay, those are the two things that kept coming to me as I was a casting agent in LA. You need classes. You need and you need to be where it's going on. Okay, what is your aura color? Chrome. I have a chrome aura. It's definitely hard for people to like see my aura. Have you ever been driving on the highway and where the horizon meets the street, it looks like this semi-blurry feeling? Y'all know what I'm talking about? I know I'm not sounding crazy, right? Like, or if you like stare out of your windshield and you see like these little circle balls in the peripherals of your eyes or whatever, that's the color of my aura. It's chrome. It's semi-translucent metallic is what is the best way that I can explain it. Yeah, but that makes sense. Like it looks, that's actually a window to another dimension, to be honest with you, if you didn't know that. Like where the horizon, yeah, that's actually a sight point into another dimension. And like if you're sitting in your car and you just like stare out in the sun and you see like these little balls that are moving, that's the color of my aura. Yeah. What do you do to people who are non-believers? Like, what is your thing to prove them wrong? I don't. I never have. I've never sought to make people believe. I've never sought to make people believe. I exist. And I'm real. And that's enough. I remember season 2 of my show, I said, I don't want to read skeptics. I'm not here to convince you of anything or to blow your mind. I'm here to actually help people who already believe. That brings me to another point, I guess. You know, when you stand in your truth, you attract people who need your level of understanding. Like, I had a conversation with somebody in LA. His name starts with a J, but I forgot who it was. This was last week. And he said, my wife is crazy about you, but I'm not so much. After that session was over, his mind was blown. I don't seek out to blow your mind, though. I seek out to give you clarity, guidance, and help you to steer yourself on the right path with the goals that you have. So I don't. That's... And going back to the acting question, central castings, when you get to New York or LA, you want to register with them. You got to be where it's at, going back to the first point. So if you're a background actor and you're there, and let me tell you this too, advice on anything entertainment industry, it is not about the people that you see. So you're trying to get Beyonce's attention. You need to be trying to get her manager's attention. Now, I will say this, in the reflection of my career, you know, like attracts like. So I always sought to be in the room with the celebrity to read the celebrity that was in the room. This was like back season 4 and 5 of my show when I did the BET Awards in 2019. And after that, you see me positioning myself in different rooms with other celebrities so I can get that photo op, so I can, you know, get their credibility, X, Y, and Z, because like attracts like. Now, that's if you're doing it the social media way. If they see you with people that are popping, why in their mind would they not believe that you aren't popping, right? So I will say you got to position yourself in the right room right? You also got to be very strategic with the content that you get in that room for social media purposes. And then you have to actually bring the goods, okay? So as I'm associating with T.S. Madison or putting myself on stage with Tiffany New York Pollard or whatever I'm doing that because somebody that follows her needs a word from me. I can't do it to say, oh my God, look at me with this person. I did all of these things as a chess move so that I will get the attention because God has to speak through me. And it wasn't until it started happening that I realized that's what I was doing. You know, I live my life on autopilot like the next bitch. I don't sit up here and say, oh my God, I'm going to get all these celebrities on my team and take pictures with all these celebrities. It's just how God guided my path. And in hindsight, it's 2020. So I'm giving you the information. So going back, I'm going to change your question. Instead of my advice on getting into acting, my advice on getting into the entertainment industry. First of all, you need resilience. Second of all, you need to be where it's going on. New York or LA, period. If you're in the United States of America. London, if you are not. Okay. New York, LA, or London. You need to be there. At least for a couple of years. Okay. I was in LA for 3 years. And 2 of those years I lived out of my car. So, you know, you gotta be where it's happening. Third, polish your craft. Now, nobody could tell me how to polish my psychic ability except for my Aunt Jocelyn, who is the owner of the property that I invested in. You know, I spent 2 years on a mountain learning the craft, and I have brands on my arms to reflect what I've gone through. So you need to be a master of your craft, whatever entertainment it is you provide. Okay, and it needs to be unique. You know, I follow this boy named Nick who always dresses up as Dora the Explorer. Nobody else is doing that. He mastered his craft. So yeah, master your craft, be in the right room, position yourself with people who have made it, okay, because like attracts like, and understand that you don't need to get to know that person. You need to know the team, the label, the people that are working to put that person out there. If you're watching American Horror Story right now, you need to be Kim Kardashian's character in the bullshit. That's who you need to talk to, not Emma Roberts' character, okay? And you know, the reason I took the job as a casting agent was because I was trying to cast myself on them TV shows I was casting for. You know? So yeah. So that's my advice on getting into entertainment. What's your sign, love? Taurus. I used to call myself a Taurus Gemini, though, because I am on the last day of Taurus, and I was born at 11/11 on May 20th, 1990. So I do have a lot of Gemini traits, for sure, especially with the personalities that I dissect and label as my tarot cards here. But I will say that I rep Taurus more than anything else, though. Okay. Do you feel like you can work on different things and projects at the same time currently? Currently. So yes, I do believe that you can. And she says, or should you work on one thing at a time in order to be successful? Well, you can breathe and walk at the same time. Right? You can blink and drink at the same time. Our bodies are designed to be multifaceted beings anyway. It is our responsibility to manage our time and our energy effectively so everything gets nourished the right way. If I was in my garden watering the watermelon and I don't water the parsley, well, the watermelon is going to grow and the parsley is not. But hey, we got a cookout on Saturday, so I need to water that watermelon right now to feed the people at the damn cookout. I ain't making no damn herbs until next week. So does that make sense? You have to inherently know how to delegate your time and your energy effectively with everything that you're trying to do. Okay. Somebody previously asked me in the comment section, do I still have an interest in psychology? Yes, I am going to go get a doctorate in psychology. I am. But right now, the amount of time and energy that is necessary to accomplish that task is not conducive to everything else that I'm watering at this time. That's coming into bloom. Okay, so you gotta manage your time, and that is why people who are as busy as me have a manager. Get the right manager. That's what things helped you get sober? Was there any specific thing that helped with the withdrawals? I wrote about this in the, what album was that? What album is Ascension on? Ascension is on Boots God, the Boots God album. Okay, on the Boots God album, I wrote about this. What helped me get sober was my grandma. I was on cocaine. I had just finished going live on a show, and I railed like 3 grams of coke, and I damn near died. You know what I'm saying? And she came to me in a vision, and she said, "It's good to see you, but I got more work for you. Get yourself together." And I did, and I went to rehab. I wrote that song in rehab. I came out of rehab, and this whole time I'm still working. Y'all didn't even know any of this shit was going on when it was going on, but you could kind of tell. Like, go back to season 4 and 5. I can't even watch those videos because I know that I'm under the influence during that time. But she came to me quite literally, and it was so strong. I wrote a song about it, and it's reflected in the Boots God album. So 3.5 years clean into infinity. And as a spiritualist, you know, we crave an alternate sensation in our body to rationalize the spiritual impressions that we're getting. So it is very easy for us to lose our minds or being typecasted as schizophrenic or going crazy. Spiritualists have a high propensity to develop Alzheimer's at an old age and things of this nature. And drugs are a coping mechanism, especially for spiritual people, because the world is a lot and it screams loud, and I just wanted to stop during that time period. We're not going to talk about it, but yeah. So my grandmother, the spirit of my grandmother, that's what did it. Hey, nice surprise to see you on the weekend. I know, right? I started following you around the time of your NDE. Oh yeah. Okay. NDE, near-death experience. Okay, got you. And now look, you got the squad symbol as your default picture. I fucking love you. Okay. That time was so crazy. Like, I got too high. I go to rehab for like 3 months, and then I come out and drop an album about all of it. I mean, it's something. Hey, Boots, that's for always being an influence. You keep me going. Thank you. It's mutual, bitch. We keep each other going. I believe a lot of people that are gifted are labeled as mentally ill. Yeah, definitely. I was. Before I came off that mountain, I had a damn IQ that was off the charts, and I'm sitting in a classroom full of white people learning damn AP history. You know, there's a fine line between genius and crazy, and spiritual people straddle that line all the time. But I have foreseen myself going crazy. Yeah. I have foreseen myself in my old age. I am batshit. I'm batshit crazy. But I'm very well taken care of, though. So, but I feel like I'm gonna lose my grip of this reality in my old age, for sure, for sure. And leaning into that vibration is kind of liberating, though. It is. It's just like, you know, fuck society, fuck the norms. If I want to walk outside and pretend I'm a bird, that's freedom, isn't it? I loved your most recent song. It stimulated my soul. Which one was that? I've been letting y'all listen to a lot. Oh my God, hugs. I totally know you. I know the feeling. Thank you, Lily, for empathizing. Lexapro stopped working. I stopped taking my antidepressant. I stopped taking it. I stopped doing it cold turkey too. This is like my 2nd week off of antidepressants, and they said you weren't supposed to do it cold turkey because you can have some physical symptoms. I don't know if I have or I have not. I've just been focusing on what I got to do. you, Boots. You did a bone reading for me, and I just need to talk to you. Love you much. Thank you. I do have appointments available for the week of November the 20th. I think that Friday is still open and available to you. So if you do want to sit with me, you still got me. Motherland will forever be a hit. Like this entire album that's coming out on October the 31st, y'all. The entire thing. You don't have to skip a song, and every song is repeatable. Like, for instance, Drake just dropped the album. I listened to it one time forward. I don't need to listen to it ever again. Okay? I will say this, though, that Tinashe album has been on repeat in my house. So, you know, it's like Kendrick Lamar. I can listen to his album front to back and then never want to hear it again. But that doesn't mean he's not a good artist. It's just the songs aren't addicting. When I produce music, I love it, and then I'm over it. Completely over it. Like, after it's out, after y'all have heard it, I'm done with it. This project, I have been listening to the songs on repeat in my house. So I really think that this project might do it. And it's conquering the 7 deadly sins too. And Aleister Crowley, a prophet of the left-handed path, once said that if you can conquer the 7 deadly sins in your own way, I chose creatively, then you can ascend. So hopefully with conquering the 7 deadly sins on this album, I will ascend my music, you know? Somebody said Morgan State has an online master's program. I'm enrolled. Join me. I can help you with your psychology courses. Again, I just don't have time. I don't care if it's online or in person. I don't care. Like, when I involve myself into a study, I fully immerse myself into what I'm learning. And I learned this about me when I chose to be a communications major in college, right? Like, at first, I swear to God, I was going to go to school for music, but then, like, the criteria for the program at UNCG was so strenuous. I was like, fuck this bassoon. I sold my damn bassoon, bought another one, though, after I started making money. I sold my damn bassoon, and I said, well, what am I going to do? Like, you know, I took one class from Franklin Donaldson, and I said, I'm hooked. Media studies it is. And I fully immersed myself. I aced all of my media studies courses. But when it came to Espanol or it came to arithmetic, if I wasn't smoking reefer before arithmetic, bitch, and cheating off that little Asian boy next to me, I wouldn't have passed. You know? Half the teacher's penises that was in my mouth to get that A. And hell, I thought about trying that cootie cat one time. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry?
But that damn French teacher needed a place to stay. And I told her, if you give me a D, you can stay with me. She gave me a D, but she didn't stay with me.
Ooh, that'll do it. You don't have to worry about me. You do.
Yeah, I took French and Spanish. Je m'appelle Boots, honey. Je t'aime, honey. I tried to write a song for extra credit because that's what I'm interested in. It went, je t'aime, 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 qui c'est vous? I performed and everything. Flunked the shit out of me. So look, I'm a firm believer that half of school is about finessing your way through it. Okay, I am a firm believer of half of the academic curriculum is learning how to bullshit. Like, for real. Like, on some real shit. Finding a way to get the grade, right? If it's not going to be academia, because I got ADHD, bitch. If I don't want to focus on something, I will focus on everything else around it. But if I'm invested in the topic, I can fully immerse myself, and I ace everything, okay? Like, it's just... And it's just my way of getting the grade. I mean, I hired a hacker one time. I sure did. I shouldn't be snitching on myself like that. But I was making real good money in them clubs or whatever, and I hired a hacker. I said, change this shit to a C. Sure enough did it, and I sure enough moved on to my senior year of college. Oh, those were the days. Hey. A part of academia is teaching you how to finesse. They know you can't do all this bullshit. Okay, and if you can, I mean, that means you have no social life. And, you know, I was more of a social butterfly back then. Now I'm more of a introverted mother goddess, and I'm liking this incarnation. Ooh. Aww. Okay. So yeah, facts communication in college was all about bullshit and then having a fire mouth. You just gotta have to get for gab, bro. You just gotta have to get for gab. That's it. And if you haven't had the pleasure of attending school, You honestly don't need it. You're just going to have to let life teach you these skills. It's not even the knowledge. It is the social construct of college that taught me more than any of those damn fucking expensive ass textbooks that just sat there. Anyway, by finding something that comes easy to you that you really like. Mother Erica Badu said that too. She said, you know, the best advice to any individual is find what comes easiest and fully dedicate yourself to that. You know what I'm saying? Good advice. Good advice. Hey, geek. Okay, so on that note, you guys, Moon and Serb, next bro assist. No, I'm done. I don't want no more fur babies. And Sir is going through puberty, and he is very testy right now, meaning that he been snapping at his brother, he been growling at me, and we've been in this motherfucker fighting. Like, first of all, he gets really instinctual about his food. When he's eating, don't touch him, right? I learned that. Like, but Moon was the one that taught me that. He'd walk up on him like, oh, what you eating, Sir? Pinned him to the ground. I still off on Sir. You Moon still off on everybody. Me and Sir getting into it. You Moon watching from the goddamn couch. I yank Sir up, throw his ass in the crate. You Moon talking about some yow, yow. I'm talking about some ow, ow, because bitch motherfucker was biting my ass, and Sir just looking like, it was World War III up in this motherfucker. It was. In that moment, I'm like, are these goddamn animals going rabid, bitch? Like, these motherfuckers got rabies or some shit? Like, what the hell is going on with my pets? So, at every turn, I call his fucking trainer from All Dogs Unleashed. I call Eddie. Eddie was like, oh, he's going through puberty. So, expect him to, you know, have some tendencies. His breed especially. He's a giant schnauzer. I love my baby. But he's going through. And you Moon, I cut his little balls off because when he was going through puberty, he was spraying everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. And it wasn't like piss. It was like a musk. And from what I found out, he's related to the lynx, right? So they produced this pheromone that was supposed to attract other kittens. But you remember that one time I let that cat come in the house and he fucked the shit out of that cat. He did get some punani before I cut his balls off. But that's neither here nor there. So do I want any more kids? No, I don't want no motherfucking more pets in here. I did think about putting a peacock in my backyard though. And then I was looking at flamingos and shit like that. They could live on the lake when they do a step, you know. So I mean, birds might be my next thing, you know, but they outside. You know what I'm saying? And I feed my birds every day anyway. You know, the geese that live on the lake and stuff like that. And we saw some white geese the other day, and that was just so indicative of the sign that was blessed unto me. Oh, anyways, I told you guys I was going to make up for Monday today, and I did. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to a beautiful Sunday inspiration and a Q&A therein. Thank you for all the love and support. Just to reiterate real quick, you can book your appointments for November the 20th, 2023 for that week, and that is the only week I think I'm going to have available in the foreseeable future. If I do open up or have some expenditure time, you know I'm dedicating that time to you. Next day appointments will be available, and because of this, on Tuesday's show, I will be debuting Call Me Now, the Call Me Now reading that I talked about. So when I'm live, you can pay like $100 and I can actually, you know, bring you in on the live video and we can have you know, a session over here just so that I don't get my clients too far away from me. Do I recommend anybody to go see in my absence? No. Because I'm not going to be absent. I'm just not going to be able to sit with you, okay? Album out 31st, November the 11th, my store opens. And real quick, I'll make this announcement. My P.O. Box is located on my Instagram. It is P.O. Box 29369, Charlotte, North Carolina 28215. Christmas is right around the corner. We always do a grand business promotional for all of you. So send me products from your businesses, and I will be giving you honest critiques on the products that you guys send. And don't be afraid to send my staff stuff either. If you want to send Maya something or Keisha or even my mother something in the P.O. box, you are more than welcome to do that. It's not required, but we would ask that you send in something if you are a watcher of the show, so we can have a good old Christmas show this year. With that being said, this is Ascension, that is actually on the Voyager album, not the Boots God album. And the Voyager album just came out this year. So that's 2 albums in 1 year. I didn't even realize that. I hope you guys like it. It is a rock-based album, but this song here is in a category of its own. Same song I talked about earlier in the show. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. And I haven't gone anywhere, just working in a different way. I love you very much, and thank you for tuning in. Okay, get some words of advice.
Fly back to me, little Brandon. We need you. You aren't forgotten, just buried into bone. But when I unleash you, the world might stop spinning. When I unleash you, you'll really, really be with me. When it's you and Boo, the conversation is different. So she had to get my attention, 'cause there's some things left for me to do. To me, little Brandon, I miss you. You are not forgotten, but there's still work for you to do. But when I unleash you, the people might stop sinning. When I unleash you, you can finally stop tripping. Cause the conversation is different. So I had to get your attention, 'cause there is still work for you to do. My heart feels raging water cascading under my hurt. Why did I try to walk my top? I'm trying to cover it, but no one cares. No one cares.
Please protect me. Wait.
Go to the bar. 1, 2, 3, 2.